How's it going there, folks? I'm Quinn, that snazzy iPhone guy, and this is Mac Madness Monday. Now, this is a question that came to me from a viewer, and when he asked me it, I thought, well, that's kind of stupid. Why would you want that? And the question was, Quinn, I love my iPhone, use my iPhone every day, and I recently got a Mac. What I'd like to do with my Mac is create a bunch of different web apps, much like you can do on iOS, where if you're in Safari, you press the plus button, it'll add an icon to your home screen that's not an app. Really, all it is a link to a web page. And he said, can I do that on Mac? So I can put them in my dock and launch applications I often visit. And at first I thought, this is stupid. Why would you want that? Just open Safari or Chrome or whatever browser you use, go to the bookmarks bar, and that's the same thing. Or you could even be on a web page, save that web page HTML file to your desktop, and double click it, boom, you're on that web page. I thought there's no need to create an application that simply opens a website. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, this could be kind of handy. I even thought of integrating it into Launchpad, where you could create a whole page of websites you visit often, kind of like a media hub. And so I decided that I would create this video because I thought it was something that could be kind of useful. And so what you have to do in order to create this is use an application called Automator. Now, Automator is an app that comes on every single Mac. It's not even thrown in the utilities folder. It's thrown in the real applications folder. And it's one of the most powerful, easy to use apps out there, but it's a little bit intimidating at first. And there's so many people that don't even know about it, and people that do know about it oftentimes open it and think, uh-oh, what am I doing? And they close it because it is a little bit frustrating the first time you use it. But I'm going to show you how to create an Automator workflow that's a standalone application that can allow you to open web pages. So we're going to double click Automator. It can be found again on all Macs. You can search it via Spotlight if you so choose. It does not matter. Once you open Automator, you'll get a page that looks like this. It'll say choose a type for your document. Now, there's a bunch of different ways you can choose to execute the tasks we're going to create, but we would like it to be a standalone application. That will allow us to put it in our dock or put it in Launchpad, and so that's what we're going to want to choose. Click Application and then click Choose. Now we're ready to create our workflow. This is the workflow timeline where you can see a topographical or really kind of a timeline of things that are going to be executed and in what order. Over here, we can see the actions and the variables that are allowed and are really provided for us by Macintosh OS X. Again, Automator is used to create a bunch of automatic tasks, and so there are a bunch of different things you can use. But we're going to simplify this just because we want to find URLs by searching URL. Now, when we find URL, there's a bunch of different actions that we can use in our workflow. Now, if we choose to display web pages, we haven't defined what the web page is. So when we open this or execute this, it's just going to open a blank Safari web page because it doesn't know what to do. By the way, this isn't exclusive to Safari. It will open in any browser that's default. So if your default browser is Chrome, this will work in Chrome, and you're not limited to Safari, which is nice. So like I stated, we do have to define what web page we would like to open. So we're going to click Get Specified URLs and drag it into our workflow. Okay, now right now it's defaulted to apple.com, but let's say I really wanted to have a standalone app or a web app for Twitter. I type twitter.com and that's all I have to do. Now, if I choose to add multiple address fields, that will, when I execute the Twitter application, open a bunch of different pages in a bunch of different tabs, which if you have one application to serve one purpose, like Twitter, that's not something you're going to want to do. So I've created my address, twitter.com. But when I choose Get Specified URLs, that's not enough. If I save this as an application and I double clicked it, all it would do is copy twitter.com to my clipboard. So what I need to do then is choose to display the web pages. And now I need to drag this below the Get Specified URLs because if I drag it above, it's going to open a blank web page and then it's going to copy the URL, which really defeats the purpose. So I'm going to drag this below or underneath, and now it says, okay, when I open this application, it's going to get this URL, twitter.com, and then it's going to open or display the web page. And that's it. That's all we need to do to create a basic web app. So then we're going to go to File and Save. Now we do want to save it as an application, not as a workflow, but as an application. And I like to keep all my applications in, well, the applications folder. Now you can choose to save it. We're going to save it as Twitter. And that's all we're going to save it as. It'll actually save as twitter.app, but there you go. So you're going to say save as Twitter. Okay. We press save, and that's all we have to do. We can close Automator and we're good to go. If we scroll to the bottom of our applications folder, we'll see, there you go. That's Twitter. If we double click it, it will open a Safari or Chrome or Firefox webpage saying twitter.com. Pretty neat, right? If we drag it into the dock, it will act as an application, and it even shows up in Launchpad. Okay, but let's say that this icon isn't really the one we want for Twitter. So what we can do is if we click Command I, we can choose what icon we want selected right here. So I'm going to go to a website called iconfinder.com. It's a great little website where you can find a bunch of different icons, and we are going to search Twitter. Okay, now there's tons of different Twitter icons you can choose from. Let's say I really, really like this one right here. Okay, we are going to choose Download ICO. Okay, now this is actually the 128 pixel by 128 pixel file, which works great, but I'm going to go with 256 because it's a little bit safer if you have a larger size dock. So right there, you can see, there we are, twitter.ico. It's downloaded, and we can double click it to open it with preview. There's the icon, and all we need to do is copy it by going to File, or Edit, and Copy. Okay, once we've copied this icon to our clipboard, we can go to this Twitter info page once again. All we have to do is click the icon right here, make sure it's highlighted blue, and then we edit and paste. Now it'll paste that Twitter icon into the application, and that's what the application acts as. We can drag this into our dock, and as you can see here, if we can get it to stick, when we click this, it'll open Safari with Twitter. Pretty darn neat, right? We can even go into, well, Launchpad, click it, and twitter.com opens. So it really allows you to create an awesome way to make web pages easily accessible and as standalone applications. And it's really just a lot of fun. If anything, it creates all your web pages, all your media in one place. And I really enjoy using it. And at first, what I thought was a stupid idea has become really useful for me. And I'm going to continue making more web apps for Mac OS X. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment, like if this video was helpful to you. And as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.